Obviously, there's a lot of wrinkles going in and a lot of new stuff. So obviously, there's going to be adjustment periods that not only the offensive line, but everybody needs to make. But I think offensively, guys are doing a real good job focusing in on all the new stuff going in, getting that down, and really showing it out on the practice field. I think this offense is really good for the offensive line. I think a lot of guys are making a lot of steps, a lot of good steps. A lot of young players are making a lot of good steps, so I'm definitely excited about where we are.
How has Guy adjusted to center?
I think well. Obviously he struggled a little bit like first two practices. But a guy like Guy, he's going to focus on his mistakes day after day, so he's already starting to settle into it very well.
Andrew, James talked about your new commitment to nutrition and that kind of stuff. Tell us about how's that change your day? What do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I've just been taking the approach. People say that all the time that have excellence in everything you do, and that's kind of the approach that I took. Was it's not just enough to go out here on the practice field and give everything you have. You got to be excellent in everything you do. And a lot of that for me was nutrition, flexibility, extra work after lifting and practice. So nutrition-wise, I start every morning pretty much the same way. Oatmeal, I make a protein shake with raw eggs in there, spinach, this weird yogurt thing called kefir, which is supposed to be good for your digestive system. So just a lot of research and stuff like that. A lot of chicken and rice. You guys probably heard Carl say all the time that's all he ate was chicken and rice. So I kind of been taking that approach, and honestly, it's amazing how it can transform your body and how much better you can feel if you just really focus on being excellent with nutrition and stretching and all that stuff.
As a tackle, what have you seen from Paris Palmer and Sterling Jenkins development-wise this spring?
I mean, they both developed very well, but Sterling has really, he's night and day difference. And you see that a lot with offensive linemen. It's kind of wide eyes when you first get here, and, there's a lot of stuff going in, being thrown at you, and, so it's hard, but he's really taken a lot of really good steps, and so is Paris. And like I said, I think just offensive line in general, this offense fits us better. So I've seen a lot of guys taking some really good strides in the offensive line.
Based on that, can you kind of gauge the potential you guys can have in the running game this fall, this early on, based on what you just said and how it's attuned to maybe your skill set?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this offense in general. I think you can talk to anybody on the offense and they're really enjoying it. Coach Moorhead does a great job. He's a great motivator, awesome guy. So I think, already we've been having good success. We don't even have the entire offense in yet. But what we've been running, we've been throwing things in, that day. And that day we've been having success with it against our defense, who's a great defense. So it gives a lot of guys a lot of hope right now. A lot of guys saying, wow, this offense is awesome. We can do this. So I think the offense this spring has really come out with a different mindset, a very positive attitude. I think that starts with Coach Moorhead. I think everybody really loves him, and he's taking us in the right direction.
How have you improved physically since you've gotten here in terms of, have you added weight? Have you gotten faster? I know they tell you and everything.
I've added weight. I've gotten faster. I think our strength program does a great job. Whenever I have any certain problem, anything I want to fix, anything I want to work on, they're able to connect it to the field and be able to help me develop, certain things that I want in my game. So the development has been great. You got to think it's also very convenient when your weight room is 5 minutes from your dorm.
Right.
So it's great, plus they do a lot of extra stuff. If I ask them about, I want to get more flexible in this area, they're like, boom, we got something for you. So it's great having a strength staff like this.
How much more do you weigh now than when you got here, and can you quantify some of your speed increases?
I would say maybe gain 5 pounds, maybe. I would say maybe a 10th off my 40 or so. Not too sure, honestly.
Sure. And what about Nick Scott coming over there? How has that been for him?
Nick Scott's taking a transition. It's not easy at all transitioning from, especially running back to corner. Usually you see the transition from receiver to corner. So he's very coachable. He works very, very hard. So he's picking up things a lot faster than usually somebody would. Just because of his personality. The fact that he's open to everybody coaching him, and he's been great about the transition, I think.
Can you talk about his personality? I'm sure he makes things light over there a little bit too.
Yeah, a lot of jokes, just like a lot of us in our room, He's his work ethic though is, I think is great. It's contagious. We competed a lot in winter workouts, and we were always going against each other. I think that work ethic and his competitiveness is what is going to help him make this transition to the corner.
John, how much are things different with Coach Pryor as the coordinator and with Coach Banks on the staff?
I just love the energy that both of them are bringing to practice. You know, Coach Banks, you know, they're both very guys that are going to be, you know, very personable. They're going to be talking to you. They're going to be getting you excited. You know, when they make a mistake, you know, they're boosting you up. You can make that play. You know, just the confidence that they both have in all of us and all of our defense, I just think is amazing.
John, have you found yourself yet this spring in the open field one-on-one with Saquon? And if so, what can you learn about the art of tackling as a whole, being tasked with bringing down a guy like that?
I don't think we've been in the open field very much. I think we're just about to have our first scrimmage coming up, so I'll probably have to let you know after that.
From the defensive side of the ball, how have you guys seen the offensive line kind of develop with this new zone running scheme and everything like that? How do you guys see that?
I think the offensive line is just as a whole, they're growing. They're getting older, they're getting bigger, they're getting a lot stronger. So I think that they've just improved, you know, naturally. And I'm more of a corner. I can't really say too much about, you know, how much they're doing the defense and them scheme-wise and everything like that. But I think from what I've heard, you know, at least from the D linemen, they've been doing really well this spring.
John, how about the quarterbacks? How have they looked from your perspective?
I think they've both looked really well. You know, they're both very, very competitive guys. They're very competitive, and I think this competition has both raised both their games, honestly, and I think it's been a great thing for the team as a whole, honestly.